People ask me all the time, well, what kind of tools are you what kind of collar are you gonna use for my dog, or what's the best collar to use? And well, my answer to that is I don't know what tool I'm going to use on your dog until I get to meet your dog. There are some things that I would never use, and there's tools that I use very sparingly. So let's just start with this, a nylon collar. Will I train a dog on a nylon collar? If the dog says, Chris, I'm trainable on a nylon collar, the answer is yes. But I'm going to jump across the board from this nylon collar to the training collar, which is called the prong collar, which a lot of people look at and a lot of people talk bad about, but my answer to that, it's a tool. I'll be the first person to tell you that it's the most barbaric looking tool I've ever seen for a dog, but I will tell you this tool is actually nicer to your dog than this tool. Chris, well, how do you say that? Well, that doesn't make sense. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Let's just say you got a dog that pulls really hard. And I always use a scale from 1 to 10. So from 1 to 10, if I have to give my dog a correction to stop it from pulling on me and going after another dog, that correction is probably gonna have to be a 10. Well, I'm gonna swap to this collar. Now my correction from 1 to 10 might only be a 2 or a 3. If I have to correct the dog 10 times with this collar, chances are I only have to correct the dog 2 or 3 times with this collar. So which is the nicer collar? Yes, it's an ugly, horrible looking collar, but it's actually nicer to your dog than this collar. All the tree huggers are gonna say, oh my God, no, 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 no. Well, the same trainers that refuse to use this collar, I get their clients for training because this does not work. Not for every dog, all right? The choker. Why do I like the choker? Number one, a dog will never get away from a choker. People lose their dogs all the time. They slip out. The choker, just what it says. Well, it's not a choker if you put it on the wrong way, it is a choker. But that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that in another video. But I like the choker because the dog can't get away from it. This is actually my go between the nylon, the choker, and then the prong. The dog tells me which one I'm going to use. The harness. People want to put their dogs on a harness because they don't want to put anything on the dog's neck. It's crazy. If you put something on a dog's neck and you train them the correct way, you're dealing with the dog's mind. If you put a harness on a dog, if your dog's 120 pounds, you're dealing with 120 pounds. You're dealing with his body. You cannot control a dog's body or mind by trying to control his body. It doesn't work that way, right? That's why there's a bit in a 1,000-pound horse's mouth to control the 1,000-pound horse. Right? Do I own one? Yes, I do own one. Real quick, I own a harness, and I own it because the only time I use my harness is when I'm teaching a protection dog to pull. When I'm teaching my dog to pull me, to be aggressive. So you people that are letting your dogs pull you around and go after other dogs, you're doing the same thing. You're teaching your dog the same thing that I teach my dog to be aggressive with your harness that you don't want to teach. You're teaching it and you don't want to teach it. Electric collar. People ask me, do I use them? Yes, I do use them, but they're my last resort. My last resort. I've been training dogs for a long time. There was no such thing as an electric collar when I was training dogs. All right, when I started training dogs. So this is last resort. It's an excellent tool. I ask people all the time, well, do you have a hammer in your house? 99.9% of the people I ask that question say, yes, I have a hammer in my house. Well, can you kill me with that hammer? The answer is yes. Right? It's just a tool. You got to know how to use it. 30-foot leash. Another tool for teaching a dog to come that doesn't want to come. Teach a dog to come when it doesn't want to come. This is first. Okay. What I don't have is my 6-foot leash. My 6-foot leash, I don't know where it is. It's usually around my neck, but I don't have it. But that's it. That's it for tools.